Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo and you're watching another live Q&A with you and me right here, right now, happening on YouTube. It's just another bonus you get when you sign up to become a patron starting at just $2 a month, and other bonuses which are about to kind of shift and change to give you even more value. I am probably considering taking a lot of what we're doing with TLDR just to the patrons on YouTube at least. Everybody else could listen to the podcast. The exception to that rule may be when we do get a sponsor for the week, because that would allow me to kind of continue forward. Of course, it's great to be a patron. It really is. We've got a tech talk coming up after this Q&A. Today, I'd like to be talking about the most recent releases in tech. But if you're interested in the giveaway, it's already been posted at deals.lockergnome.com. Today's question: are smartwatches a fad? Do you have a smartwatch? Do you need a smartwatch? Do you want a smartwatch? Quite honestly, I don't know the answer to this question. I am inclined to believe that eventually watches may disappear apart from the fashion of a watch, but in terms of the functionality, I'm pretty sure we're going to find better ways to measure our data that we're generating anyway, the health data, which to me is one of the leading reasons to have something like a smartwatch, to have these sensors attached to a watch that is sitting right there on your skin, whichever hand you wear the watch on, and picking up on all the data you're generating anyway. And then the software, in conjunction with the hardware, would interpret that and potentially give you a better life, make you a better person. Well, maybe kind of a stretch. Allowing you to better interpret and make decisions based upon the data that is being generated by you anyway. How many steps you've taken, your heart rate, etc. But still, to me, that smartwatch, whatever this wearable thing is still invasive. You have to remember to charge it. It has to work properly. It has to be comfortable on you. And for years, if not centuries, people have been wearing watches to primarily tell the time. And of course, other bonuses like a little calendar and what have you. It's been a fashion statement. And, the bonus of telling time and the current, date. Now, we, of course, have the ability to get notifications on the wrist. I'm telling you, and I was saying this even before other people were complaining about it, notifications on the wrist is not necessarily the killer application for a watch, because instead of you doing this all the time, you're pretty soon just going to be doing this. Not just checking the time incessantly, checking the dates, see if it's changed, weather conditions, see how you're doing health-wise. It's still invasive. It's still interruptive. And I think that leans me towards the response of saying, yeah, I think smartwatches are a fad. I think they will eventually disappear over time. I don't know how much time, because I don't have a smartwatch, and that's not really something that I'm even looking forward to. I know a lot of people, Apple's got their watch, and the Android Wear, it's going to change the world. Maybe not. I don't know if a killer app has been developed, and I'm telling you, I don't think sending a heartbeat or a crappily drawn flower to a friend or loved one is a killer application. Like, it's a little creepy, honestly. If Diana were to get a smartwatch and then send me her heartbeat on my wrist, that's unless she's got like a heart condition, like it just stops all of a sudden. Like, are you still alive? How do I can't type? Are you still alive? Hello. I don't think video is the killer app. Potentially communication, a la walkie-talkies. That could be a killer app. To be able to, hey, Diana, what are you doing for dinner? Well, you tell me. You use this or this, and at which point do you need this or this? It's just another device, another thing to clutter up your life, potentially. And this time, it's on you. Anything that you wear, I would tell you, if it's related to technology, is still very, very invasive. Eventually, we'll have the ability to have sensors on us and be completely less invasive. Like, these watches are crude. Apart from the craftsmanship, the artistry, the design, not the function so much as the form. And I think that's where watches will continue. Smartwatches, you're kind of putting a shelf life on this thing on your wrist. And typical timepieces that have been worn aren't necessarily seen in that capacity. You buy a watch, you likely are going to wear it for years and years and years and years. I would be surprised if a current gen Apple Watch or even Android Wear. This isn't about the Apple Watch necessarily. Any current gen device is going to be out of date within 2 years' time. Gadgets are not designed to last forever. And I consider like an electronic gadget, it's temporal, right? You're not going to, buy a smartwatch thinking you're going to use it for 10 years. Or let me put it to you this way. Don't think of that. So if anything's a fad, it's accommodating this new piece of technology and trying to make it fit into your life so that one company or another can sell you another product. Does it have value? I think the killer application to this point is just collecting health data, but eventually that's going to melt away into sensors that you're just going like a bandage you can put on your body. We'll be able to do that, and electronics will be able to track everything we could possibly need, and electronics that are far less interruptive than what they are today. So fad, maybe for the next 20 years or so, people will still wear watches, if only because, as I said, of the form. But I don't know. I'm a little conservative in terms of my expectations. My excitement is somewhat attenuated, having only seen what I've seen, not having used a smartwatch, not being someone who obviously wears a watch for a lot of different reasons. I sometimes don't want to know what the time is. That's the worst part about the bouts of insomnia that I've been going through recently. I've got a time beamed up onto the ceiling. It's because I can't see at night when I take off my glasses. So I have it up on the ceiling, and when I can't sleep, I'm just counting the minutes. And that just makes time pass more slowly. I'm trying to get to sleep. And then I obsess on the time. And some people can, wear a watch and not have to check the time every 5 minutes. So the killer app could very well be, where's my phone? Oh, there it is. So let me get this straight. You've got a device worth hundreds of dollars to help you find your other gadgets that you've lost. Or to send you notifications that you probably didn't need to see anyway. I guarantee. Maybe you'll become more like me. I have to turn off like just about every possible notification that I get because otherwise I just get overwhelmed, flooded. Even people who don't get a lot of notifications are finding themselves with smartwatches turning off those notifications. It could very well tie into identity. You've got that watch on you. Once you've confirmed your identity, this is you. That could be more valuable than the forms of identity that we carry around today. That could verify or validate the fact that you are you, who you say you are, with this device on your wrist. But again, at some point in the future, that's just going to melt away. It's invasive, and anything that's invasive, I find to be something that would be a fad, more of a fad than anything. A smartwatch is just terribly invasive, and a watch is invasive, and that's where I say it's more form. It's kind of like arguing PCs and where the PC market's headed. It's going to enthusiasts, which is great. Or it's like arguing where the car market or industry is going. It's going to enthusiasts, because self-driving cars will be here at some point in the future. Where does that leave car enthusiasts? They'll still be able to drive cars and build cars and do cars the way they want to do cars, and there'll probably be special tracks set up where people can drive the classic cars that we know of today and actually drive a car. They'll not go away. Watches are not going to go away. Timepieces on the wrist are not going to go away. But in terms of where we find its usefulness, it honestly really remains to be seen. So I sit on the fence, but I'll err on the side of it's an interruptive technology. It's something that's a bit invasive. You're wearing it on your wrist, man. Or woman, man or woman, you're wearing it on your wrist. Invasive. These are invasive too. But I like glasses. Can't fault me for that. Thank you for asking the question, are they a fad? I'm curious to know what you think about this. I guess I've become a little jaded in my older age when it comes to any kind of gadget or technology, which seems to cause more problems than it absolutely solves, and certainly at a cost. And I'm tired of being frustrated with technology. Yeah, what are you going to do? Get a smartwatch is probably what you're going to do, just like me. Thanks again for asking the question. At this point, however, I'm going to leave you to your own devices.